Hi, my name is Ronan Kennedy and I'm a career coach, and today I'm talking to my friend Federico Melandri. Federico, thanks for taking the time to chat to us today. Tell us, what do you do?
Thanks for the invitation.
Just move this a little bit closer to you.
To me? Okay, it's my first time. I'm virgin about that, so sorry to everyone. But thanks for the invitation, and I'm glad to be here. Well, I am an architect. I work here since 2012 in Lisbon. I have my own studio with all my name, and we develop several projects here in Lisbon about architecture, like mostly about refurbishment and new houses for client, mostly for residential.
But tell me, how did you get into architecture when you were? Like, imagine someone's watching this and they're thinking about it. They're thinking, I like art, I like architecture, I like graphic design, I like buildings, I like civil engineering. There's all these different types of fields.
Yeah, actually, it was. I think is. Some people. I don't want to enter in very religious ways, but some people saw God. I saw architecture. Basically, I think it's like a vocation that you have since you are like a child. In my case, where I was a child, just to funny anecdote was when I was like child of 5 or 6 years old. Normally you got at Christmas like present. Right. Okay, Lego. Oh, nice, Lego. Okay. Oh, cool. So basically, normally all people follow the instruction. So you build like a castle or actually I completely built another stuff that was not completely I never followed the rules about that. So I created something new. Then I follow also the destruction, but later, after that, I destroy everything. So I think starting from there with the Lego, I think was my part, and I was drawing a lot. Probably because we have the same age. So when we was young, it was still the old printer with all the holes. You don't remember? Yeah. So I have at home some drawings that is 20-30 meters. My father bring home, and I was drawing.
All that printer paper.
So I think it come from there. Not all the fact to drawing, because the fact of the drawing is it doesn't mean that you are an architect or whatever you have, because you can be a painter. You can be I'm painting too, but the fact is the process how you have a drawings or a design and to critical assemblement this one in another way. So I think that starting from there, and then in the secondary school I knew that was architecture for sure.
So it was always a very natural, organic way of you were drawn to it. It's many people when you go to the university, they have still, oh my God, this one is my way. I have to be honest. I'm in this way. I'm really lucky because I knew since the beginning that it was architecture. I never had doubt. I still have my colleagues in the hand of the faculty said, I'm not sure if I'm doing architecture or not. And as an architect, I said, after 5 years, you don't know. I said, and they asked me simply. What you will do after faculty architecture? I said, simply, it's very ingenious. I said, I will be an architect. And they all look at me like, oh my God, what? My God, I said, I think it is natural. You felt it was an obvious choice after.
Yeah, and I that as an architect, many people thinking about it's not just a design that you have, because when we draw, when we build something, is something that probably can stay there few years as for the eternity. Nowadays we can, so we have also social. It's very important our duty in our society. Not nowadays, all the history. So our draw or our sign will have an effect for the next generation. So what we build is very important. I think what I'm building right now will be for centuries.
Years or centuries. So
or maybe in 5 years, demolition said, "Oh, we don't like this architecture."
So you're always thinking really, really long term in terms of your designs.
Yeah, I think so. First of all, obviously, you have to think about what is the necessity that has of the client. If it's a private client, is already under houses, and then obviously contemporary, because it's going in parallel. What is what can bring this forever? In fact, I said forever. It's not meaning that because can be reused.
What do you mean sustainable?
No, forever. I mean, when I say forever, it's meaning that during for along the years, like no, we can think about also the fact that we are reusing buildings. So I'm thinking also probably one day we can be reusing my building that I'm drawing. But what I think is durable. Like nowadays, it's not a credit to our society, but it's the way that how we thinking about everything have to be fast and cheap, fast and cheap, and then we bring into not very good quality of the materials. So after 10 years, you said, "Oh my God, I have to rebuild my house or whatever."
Right.
So I'm thinking about the durable, also about the materials, like stones, concrete, or whatever is. Sustainable, unfortunately, is not possible to do in refurbishment.
Right.
It's not possible. It's possible, but very in few terms, and could be possible, for example, in a new project, for example. And also there is another thing that in Portugal there is not so much culture nowadays about the sustainable project.
Right.
They are introducing in the last years.
People are more concerned about price or more concerned about
There is no
high quality materials.
There is no handwork that can do that. So
Okay.
I mean, like for example, I'm going to Italy. If I want to do wood, like sustainable project in wood, I can find many companies in the north of Italy. Even in the south is not possible. But in Portugal, you can't find so many that can do the same this kind of project. So sometimes we have to work. Or if you want to do we want to use it determined materials. We have to go in the market with high prices, and the
Right.
client have to accept to go high with the.
So that's obviously like a tricky part of being an architect. Like in college, obviously you learn how to draw, how to make buildings, how to understand materials, all those things. But then when you come into the workplace, you have to understand clients, and you have to be able to negotiate and influence.
Yeah, this is in fact there was a big critic that in university in Italy that when you go out from the university, no one teach you how to lead with the society. Basically, they give you the base, the mindset. So basically, what the university give you is the mindset. Then after with the mindset, you are free, and you have to learn by yourself. It's basically, in fact, was one of my biggest fears. I said, how can I start? Because from what I can start, I didn't have in my family, no one is architect, no one is a construction.
Like how to start as a architect, or how to start a business, or what do you mean?
No, I started before. Yes, I started before with an internship here in Portugal during 1 year and a half. During 6 months, and then 1 year of contract, and working there. Obviously, I knew that wasn't not my way to working for others. Like
okay,
but guys, it's not like the video that you find on Instagram. We said, "Hey, you should work for yourself because you are the best. You should be your best version of yourself." No. And it's motivation. Like I feel it. Like I wanted my own office, my own firm, the design, and. But so I started like this, and then the most complicated was when I switched. When I give up. Not give up. I quit from my job basically because I knew that was not that one is the good one, and I started my own business. Like, okay, let's start it. How I can do it. And then it was 2 years between 2013 and 2015.
Right.
Very hard.
So you had to learn like sales, marketing, all the non-architect business,
yes.
all the non-architect
like
things,
management.
Right? Yeah.
It's like going on the other faculty, like management or marketing. marketing is everything. So when you're talking about architecture, you should be everything basically. You should also be also a good architect. You should be also a good seller. You should be a good a manager. You should be so maybe. It's all these things in one, and sometimes you have but the success, I think, is you never give up. Yeah, to be stubborn in the good way. I am a very stubborn person, so I decided that no, I will do. So whatever it is, I will go. But it's the secret, I think, for myself is never give up. If you have a dream, really, if you have a passion, never costs you nothing, because if you are like you love it what you are doing, you will never give up from that. And that's it. I'm still developing. I mean, I'm not. I'm still a young.
Finished product.
No. Don't think that I am. No, I'm still a young architect. I mean, I am 30 years old. So it's for architecture. It's talking like a football player that is 16 years old. More just to understand how is the comparison. No, the stuff is going good, and I'm happy about that. But
what do you think is the most important thing for architects to be able to do if they really want to be effective? Is it really understanding design well? Is it being able to work with clients effectively? Is it something else?
Yeah. First of all, as we talked before, I think not. We don't talk in general, maybe not architects, but not all people are born to be in own business. You know. Because there is to have your own business, I think you have to have some characteristic that is really clear, like first of all, a social skill,
right?
Like the way how you talk with the clients. This morning I had a meeting with the client, very important from Dubai, and so first of all you have these skills you can develop, obviously, the passion as we talk. Then obviously the talent, because you have the talent, but the talent probably arrive later than this, because there is many people that have a very good social skill, but could be that are not very good professional,
right.
But they're still hiring projects, or they're still good things. But for people that want to start architecture, I think in my way, and this is first of all, go in the school that is really forming you as an architect. Like never try to get the easiest way. I'm doing this online architecture.
Right. Like in Ireland, the architecture schools are famously difficult to get into, famously difficult to graduate from. Everybody talks about like 12-hour days. Like I had a few friends who
I did the same.
Is it the same in your experience?
If you see my face today, this is the process along the years.
So why is it that architects have to do so much hours and work so long and so hard?
Well, I think for many, first of all, architecture is a humanistic the faculty, but involve many. I think is quite complete as a faculty, because as a many issues inside architecture. There is not architecture. There is architecture project. There is a story of architecture, but there is math. There is physics. We study physics. We study engineering. We study. So basically, there is many things that form as an architect.
There's many different skills and kind of abilities as well.
Yeah, and the project, and there is something that you should think. We are as a base. We are like we never have happy about what we did. We want to always, but it is not architecture. Everyone want to do always better. But we're talking about something that is creative. Sometimes you have an idea and you get as soon as possible, so you develop, and to develop it takes time. Or sometimes you stay there and thinking. That's why it takes a lot of time.
But this is like really interesting, because I think if you've got like a growth mindset and you always want to develop, you always want to be better, you can always improve something. And with a creative process, you can always improve something. But in architecture, you have to build a building.
Yes, as well.
So that's what. So at what point do you kind of look at the plans, or do you look at the building and say, yeah, of course this could be better if I spent another X amount of euro and another 2 years, but I have to finish because I have to finish.
Yeah, this is another. This is a very good question, because you arrive at one point. Many times, basically, what happens is you are satisfied with the project because the project is working. Sometimes when it's not working, it's something that can't go to the construction, obviously can't go, and also not can't go to construction, can't go to the approval of the client.
Right.
I am the person that I saw that it's not working, I prefer to take a little bit more time and to think how it's working, never to present something. And this is to collect what we told before. Imagine that should be forever. So.
Yeah.
If it should be forever, we have a sole responsibility for our society. I don't want.
It's a big responsibility.
The responsibility. That's something. There is many projects that are nowadays mostly popular, like residential, that are really criticized from the society because they are not working. They are maybe in the plan it was a big idea, but that it didn't never work it. So I think that is. For me, for example, in this case, the creation, the imagination, the creativity is fundamental for architect. But where is coming the creativity? You need the basis. So the basis, where is the basis of that? Of the creativity, that is a skill, obviously you have, but it's a talent. It's it's a talent you can develop, but it's a talent you have or you don't have. But you have to feed it. How you feed it? Studying, reading book, architecture, and I think I always said that I think is my mantra is observation. First of all, the first skill of an architect should be observation. So if you think, observation, yes, why? Because the reference. An architect, we never inventing something. It's always something that is a construction of many elements. So observation, if you have this skill, well, probably you could be a very good architect.
Yeah.
You can draw very well, but if you have observation, and yes, after creativity, yes.
So that's something you try to build in the people who work for you, increase their observational skills or teach them
the observation, yes, the critical observation, to look at the problem, or to look at it, and you see, I'm always asking them to see the problem, yes, or where is the problem, and to find a solution. I always ask. This is, I think, is more business than architecture. I ask them to don't bring me the problem, bring me the solution. If it is wrong, the solution, but bring me the solution, because the problem everyone can see. Yeah. Everyone can see the problem almost. But the solution, only few people can give you.
That's a great business tip for anyone starting their career, right? Start with or bring the solution, not just the problem, right? Because the problem's usually easy to identify.
Even if it's wrong, doesn't matter. But at least you develop in your mindset, you develop this skill. But you see, also architecture, as I told you, is a mixer of business. Because if you have just the skill of drawing or the creativity, you arrive at one point, but you never grow up, you never grow up. So you have to, I think always it is good to keep some from other areas to increase your skills and also your business.
That's great. So you're always getting references or inspiration from other architects, other buildings, other styles, and try to incorporate them into your own knowledge or your own practice or your own ideas.
Yeah, normally what happens is everyone is copying. It's not copying, but it's a copying with a develop inside. Every architect do that. No one invented nothing. Sorry to tell to every architect. Oh no, this is the best architect ever. Yeah, but everyone can keep a reference from nature, from other architect, from other era, for example, for the new classic, contemporary rational architecture. So no one invented nothing.
Right. But everyone's taking inspiration from somewhere.
Is our talent how to process this information that we observed and how to rebuild it in any project. And also observation, that many times we forgot about it, is observation also what you have around of your project. Like it's not just to put. I am not the kind of the architect that tell you, okay, we do not consider the context, so put something there, but close conversation. No, I always try to, whatever it is, if there is a illegal neighborhood, if it is a plot, a complete virgin plot, is a desert or whatever, you just always imagine how it could be. But this one is not only in the design, also in the material that you will use it to create it like atmosphere on the project. So this is obviously is the target. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't, or sometimes in the middle. But in important things, and you feel comfort when you see. I said you should feel in peace. You know, nothing on your. But whatever, it's about everyone, everything. You watch a plan or whatever, and you feel in peace. You don't feel that something is. Yeah, you have this feeling. I said it's difficult to explain.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm trying to think how we would.
But
say
when
it.
you see something, I said, I like it. I feel comfortable with it. Oh no, you see, there is something that I feel, because architecture for me is also like a balance. You know, everything should be in balance. Like we talk about the rectangle, we call the rectangle audio. So there is a section that is the gold measure basically, and this is because there is a balance between all the angles and all the lines, measurement. Yes, exactly. So is also the balance. So when there is something that is not in balance, you will not like it. It's like when you wear, you know.
Yeah.
No, these colors are not in balance with each other.
It's interesting you think about it on such a high level, on such a strategic level, but also like you're in the nuts and bolts of every day trying to make it happen. Can I ask, is there anything that you were surprised to learn as you became an architect, or like is there anything you wish anything that you know now that you wish you knew when you were 17, 18 starting?
To be honest, to be honest, I think nothing. You know why? Because I think this is an experience that you grow, you know, and you learn. Always is like a challenge every day. You know, you learn something new, and if you knew something before, I will do like it's not like I redo everything, but I'm happy with what I have. If I have to be honest, if I something that and to answer to your question, something that helped me on my job, you want to know what? And if I had already a block of clients, because I think this is the best.
Yeah.
Not always architect not always, but sometimes I come from a family that have co-structure or something. Yeah. But life is not easy.
But then you wouldn't have learned the sales and marketing and like listening and consulting skills that you've learned. But also I think your approach or your attitude is very healthy, that you learned everything when you needed to learn it, and you weren't. I think sometimes probably for me, I want to skip a step. I want to learn quicker. I want to not have the difficult moment. But I think probably your attitude is super healthy. That is like, no, that's the moment you need at that moment, and you just approach it. And it seems to be almost like the flow that you have with the architecture as well.
Yeah, because also I said we have always this kind of we have to skip. It's like the project. I said in the moment we started with a very small project, okay, very small project, and what was the moment the client arrived with a little bit bigger project. So then we started with a refurbishment of small apartment. Okay, now we are doing buildings, but was a process. We not started with the buildings straight away. We started with then arrive with the loft, then arrive with the duplex, and then arrive with a little house, and then with a building, and then it was increasing. It was a process. Nothing. I think. You are ready to do it when and arrive the time. So I if I wanted to be faster, yes, to be honest. But also I was really early as an architect. I started really when I was 29. Yeah, 29 years old. So as an architect, when you start your studio with 29 years old, you are really, really young. Yeah. But not because I wanted to do, because I feel it. Like when you feel something, you should follow your vibe. And then all the process that maybe for me was difficult, not difficult, was takes a little bit more time because I told you I didn't no knowledge, any contact. So I built it my contacts, and this is the part that took more time than the project. This is but it's a long process. Still is running. And I don't know, maybe if we met in 5 years, I don't know, maybe we built a skyscraper.
It'll be different again. But it's an interesting journey of your career, because you start as an architect, so the technical person. Then when you open the studio, you're the business person. And now when you have a studio and you have people working for you, you're both of those things, but you're also a manager. You're managing people, or you're leading people, and you're leading contractors. You're trying to, see, how was that transition? Because management and working with people and training and recruiting, that's all, they're all different skills as well.
Yes, in fact, if someone will ask which is the hardest things, maybe people think, the client. Yeah, well, actually, human resources is the hardest thing. Is the hardest things because it's another skill that you have how to manage people, and it's very difficult nowadays, to be honest, to manage a human resource. If you're not a huge studio, and if you are like us, a small, medium studio.
What's the biggest challenge? Finding the right people, training them, keeping them.
Yeah.
Yes to all.
Yeah, to all recruiting, for sure. And it's not a critic, but is very hard nowadays. People quit very fast from you have a target to arrive. If they don't arrive to the target, they just okay, I will not do okay, without any problem. Now, I mean, not all people, but I don't like to generalize, but we also confrontation with other colleagues of my same age or older, and we found the same scheme. So I mean, the same attitude.
So you had a conversation with your colleagues, and they said, if people don't reach the goal or the target, they decide.
No,
do they go to another studio, or do they quit architecture?
No. They just go to another studio. Maybe a studio that requires less knowledge. Because depending, then there is many architect. There is only one architecture, but now there is interior design, there is architecture, there is landscaping and everything. Normally, when you do in our case is outdoor architecture, require some attention of the detail that is a little bit high level, and people can understand also that the process that will bring, if you have to deliver on that day, that should be delivered. And nowadays, no, I can't do that, I will do later. So you have to manage all this stuff. Human resources it's very difficult. So that's why I'm trying to have normally when I'm doing interview, it's to understand, because you can understand many things from the interview, but then only with the action, just giving people the opportunity to work is the possibility. For me, is the most challenging is human resources. For me, For me, it's not client, it's not manage a big project. It's usually easier. I mean, easier. You can manage if you have the skill, but human resources for me is the biggest challenge nowadays.
But when you speak to them and they're thinking about leaving, do you find yourself saying trying to encourage, is it because they find the failure of the goal very difficult to take, or is it a case where they need to be encouraged that look, sometimes we don't meet our goals and that's okay, or do they just lose interest in the project maybe?
No, normally you lose you lose interest in the project. For my experience, also for normally when you work always in one only project and for long time, then you lose the project. This is that's why I'm trying always to split from the project, like to change your project to work in different kind of project, not always like detailed design, but also in the schematic design, in the concept. So people change it. The fact is to arrive at determined quality of the project itself, like with many mistakes, that this is not a project that should deliver to the product. No, for me it's ready. No, it's not ready. No, I quit. No.
So of course it's your studio. You have to keep a certain standard.
Yeah, standard is
for
very
the client, because it's your reputation, and also if you want to keep jobs,
there is your signature, and should be every studio architecture has own signature. Like you can recognize that project who is come from.
Right.
Is like a fashion. You know that this one is from Valentino, that one is from Armani, that were from Hugo Boss. Architecture is the same. You can recognize the project where it's come from, and this is. Not because we want, is because it is our style, like, and we have a standard, and the client hiring us for this standard. Because I'm coming to you, I want your dress, from Armani, because I like your. So if they arrive to us, we should give that standard, and if we don't have that standard, we can't give. And the same will happen in the fashion. Like I will not, Armani will say, no, sorry, I will not deliver this dress because it's not our standard.
Yeah.
People that work for us should understand this standard. It's very difficult. That's why I told you that. But it's not like complaining. It's like something that challenged me. I told you. I always find the challenge. If challenge,
business is perfect for that, because it's always a challenge, right?
I think this coming from this is a very too, because we talked also the other day. It's come from when I was an athlete from athleticism. So basically, the competition, the fact that the challenge always goes deep. I said, okay, no, like you don't take personal, but you take okay. This is a challenge. Let's go into the.
Can I ask you? Speaking of challenges and taking on new challenges, can I ask you about your other business?
The other business.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking this question will never arrive. No, no, but yeah. So basically, I have other business that I call like it's kind of hobby, you know, like something that you theoretically you relax your mind. So I have the business that is about restaurants. I have a group of pizzerias, basically, and for my passion, that is starting from my passion of food, obviously.
I love that you do this as a hobby.
Yes, a hobby, like yes. I mean, it's like a hobby. Because it's some people maybe go to jogging after work. Well, I do business after work. It started with pizzerias. Also, I have other that is in developing, but this one is my other business that I take care as a baby, you know.
Yeah.
And
how did you find to start that? Like, was that an easy process to find the place to rent, get the staff? Because now you've more staffing issues and you have to get recipes, and because it's quite a different business, right? Now you're talking about food and you've got health and safety standards and much more customers compared to clients, which are longer term, customers are shorter term.
Yeah,
I mean, it's quite a different business.
Yeah, very quite different the business, but also is nice as you can share the information from one business to the other, from one business to the other, like some skills, and some setting you can bring from one. The sharing is like open doors, right. And this is helped me in both business. That like for human resources, you have more contact in restaurants with people than actually in architecture. But hiring people, you hiring more, so you have the skills, so you can bring to the other. So you can share information even if it's a completely different business, but you can bring the best from one to the other and to increase both, you know.
So there's a lot of transferable skills: hiring, training, recruiting, refurbishment.
But I will never change architect for waitress, and the opposite. I think it's better to maintain everyone, but sometimes, you know, and also to switch off your mind. Like, not to switch off your mind, but to split for another things. So sometimes you are concentrated in a project and it's not working or whatever. Then arrive some issue that you have to solve in the other. So in that case, you focus on the other. So the other one is standby until you recover, and maybe when you recover, you said, "Oh, yeah, I found a solution." Like it's good. I don't know if you know the story. I'm not comparing to him, but I don't know about Einstein.
Okay.
When he developed the theory of the relativity.
Yeah, right.
Okay. No. This is funny, but obviously I'm not comparing with him. So he was working in. He didn't have a job, so he was working basically in a patent.
Patent office,
patent office. Yeah. And this is because he at least what is wrote in his biography, to split basically about to not focus only in physics, but to focus also in other stuff, to then have the energy and to develop the other things. I think for me is working in some ways, like to not focus 100% of your time about that. Yes, it's my passion, architecture is my dedication, but it's good sometimes to switch off. Like to switch and then to recover, and probably you have a solution.
Yeah, very good. So you give your mind a break from one topic, go to the other, and maybe they start to help each other after a while. You can start to cross things over.
Yeah. This one, obviously you should. Obviously you have to be good to manage that one, because imagine that you have many issues every 5 seconds. You have one, then another, then will be a mess. Now obviously can be like this. You should set it in the way that you can manage it. Obviously it's very important how to manage, but this one is another. There is many things that are involved with. But as I told you before, as we talked before, is if you have passion, also because I have passion for food, so it doesn't cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Obviously there is some issues like the pandemic that arrived. Obviously that one your focus was only to solve the problem, but no one was expecting that. So many business was affected. But I think when it is passion, nothing it costs really to you, because if not, you quit after very few time.
So can I ask you, just to finish up, is that do you think that point about passion is the main tip that you would give to an architect starting today, or what do you think is the biggest tip if someone's watching this, they're thinking about architecture?
Yeah, I think passion is something that to be inner in your side, basically in you, and then this one no one can develop the passion. You can't develop the passion. It's something
you have to have the passion.
You have to have the passion. If you don't have the passion for something you like it, you will never get. So you will quit very easy.
Yeah.
Then, as we talk, maybe observation, maybe the fact that you know how to drawing or other stuff. But first of all, yes, passion. I think this.
Can I ask? Do you think you grow?
Maybe because I'm Italian.
Yeah. Well, I think you always have passion inside of you, Italian. One other thing I wanted to ask you is: do you feel your passion grows over time the more you dedicate yourself to architecture?
Yeah, I think so, for one reason, because I'm developing maybe project that in the beginning, I don't want to blame project that I did before, because every project that I do, I put all my dedication. But maybe that project I didn't feel so much challenge for me. Right now I'm doing very big projects, so it's more challenge for me, and I saw that it's growing not the passion but my pleasure to do it. It's not the passion but the pleasure to do it. It's something that I already always dreaming to do it. I'm not dreaming to do a skyscraper, but I'm dreaming to do like a houses. This is for me is a challenging, and I found a lot of pleasure to do it.
I love it. I love your passion. I love the passion and the pleasure that you put into your work and the energy that you have and the dedication. So I think you're definitely going to inspire someone with what you've told us today. So thanks so much for taking the time to come in and tell us all these great tips.
Thank you to everyone. Bye.
Thanks.